Hey travelers, I'm in one of Colombia's wonders. This is the Las Lajas Shrine. In this video, I'll tell you how to get here. Good morning everyone, I'm in Ipiales. Today I'm heading to the sanctuary of the Virgin of Lajas. And I went to take a walk first this morning and I found a juicery and I got this juice. As I showed you in the last video, Ipiales is a beautiful city that is known for being commercial and in the border of Ecuador. But it is especially known because this is where the Sanctuary of Lajas is located, an impressive church built in a cliff over a river. To visit this Colombian wonder, I recommend you stay in Ipiales. I stay at the Love Hotel, where breakfast is included. So after breakfast, let's go to the sanctuary. From here, you can take a taxi, what I'm doing. They will charge you around 10,000 pesos. Or you can take a bus, they call it colectivos too. They will leave you a little farther from where the taxi will drop you off. So you'll have to work a little more, plus it's raining, so keep that in mind. The taxi driver very nicely asked me to get down here because there's a viewing point. And yes, there is. I can see the sanctuary already. Wow. It's cloudy and raining, but you can still see the sanctuary from afar, inlaid in a canyon. It looks amazing. The Virgin inside that church has many faithful followers like Orlando.
De mi parte, estoy agradecido con la Virgen de las Lajas. Cada que salgo me persino y voy en manos de ella.
And every September, her followers have a big celebration for her.
Son 15 días de fiesta que hacen de todos los municipios. Cada municipio le hace una fiesta. El día que le toca a cada municipio, ellos vienen con alcaldía, banda y bajan desde el mirador. Desde arriba, desde el mirador, bajan en procesión hasta la iglesia.
After a 10-minute taxi ride, we're here. Muchas gracias, adiós.
Bueno, que le vaya bien.
To go down on the cable car, you have to take another road that is farther. It is a lot easier to take this route, but the cable car gives you great views. This is where the taxis or the car you're taking will leave you, and then you have to walk down. When you're coming down, you'll be able to see a lot of merchants. They'll be selling sweets, water, candles, souvenirs, of course. There's even llamas that are kind of like decorated like the Virgin, and they're for people to take pictures. Very interesting. As you approach the temple, you'll notice plaques of people that are giving thanks to the Virgin for blessing them in some way. A lot of them are thankful for miracles that give credit to the Virgin. There are plaques from all over, especially from Quito, Ecuador. You see the statue of this man? He has an interesting story. In 1765, he built the second temple in honor to her because he says that she was able to give him sight again. He was blind. So what he did is he collected money in Ecuador and Colombia for this. And he was able to collect 388 pesos and 7 reales, which was the Spanish coin. Very interesting story. We're getting closer to the church, which is amazing and is surrounded by a lot of nature on top of the Guaitara river. And it has a lot of trails that churchgoers used to get to the temple during their pilgrimage, especially on September 16, the day the Virgin is celebrated. Look at the statue of this woman carrying a child. It's a reference of the discovery of Our Lady of Lajas. The story says that in 1754, the image of Our Lady of the Rosary was discovered by Maria Mueces and her child, Rosa. They were going to Ipiales when it started raining, and when they went to look for shelter in the rocks along the river, Rosa, whom was deaf-mute, said, "Mom, look at the mestiza." It was the image of the Virgin of the Rosary, today known as Our Lady of Lajas. Now let's go to the church. There are masses constantly because people don't stop coming. There is the image of Our Lady of Lajas, crowned, carrying baby Jesus and being venerated by two saints. It's inside a frame with the words Ave Gratia Plena, that in Latin means full of grace. If you look closely, you'll notice the painted rock is part of a huge rock formation. This is the Laja stone, and that is where the name of the Virgin and sanctuary come from. This is the Laja stone in a not very visited part of the church. Here you can see how the sanctuary adapted to the rock formation to be constructed around it. The temple is around 100 meters tall from the base, and it has a bridge that gives it support. All this masterpiece of architecture so the image wouldn't have to be moved from where it was found. The painting is more than 250 years old, and from afar it looks well maintained. The style of the painting apparently comes from the Quito school, but many believe it was a divine appearance. I just come out from seeing the image. It has great quality. I'm really amazed at how good it's been maintained. Another thing that was really curious is that it looks very similar to the Virgin of the Socavón in Bolivia, in Oruro. I was in the carnival last year, and I'm gonna put a picture here to compare. They both look really similar. The Virgin of the Lajas is based on the Rosary Virgin, and the Virgin of Oruro is based on the Virgen de la Candelaria. Interesting, huh? There is also a museum in the lower part of the church where you can learn more, like the idea that the image was painted by Bishop Pedro Bedón, who died in 1621, which means the painting would be more than 400 years old. We can also see how the temple developed from being a small chapel to the Gothic sanctuary we know nowadays. On the other side of the river, crossing the bridge, you will find a lot of merchants that also sell food. I bought a piece of corn with fresh cheese for 4,000 pesos. Very good. There are many ways that you can take around. You can do long walks, and if you come to over this bridge right next to the sanctuary, you'll find the fall, this fall. And turning around, you'll see the arches that hold the shrine that goes over the river. Amazing, huh? And this is how it looks at night. They light up the church, and to my taste, I think it's too colorful. Looks like a wraith. I wish it was just like a one-tone color, but it's interesting. So they light it up around 6:15, and then after that, people start leaving. We're now going back to Ipiales in a van. Travelers, I'm back in the hotel. It's a cold night in Ipiales. I came back in a van. They charge you 3,000 pesos. They leave you in the city center, and it's a good option if you want to save. You can also go with them. It's 3,000 pesos. The taxi charged me 10,000 pesos. It was a great experience going to the shrine of Las Lajas. I hope to come back, hopefully during the main celebration. I want to see how that is, the pilgrimage that the people do, and it's probably going to be packed. This ends my trip to Colombia, this time of course because I love this country and I will be back. So if you have any recommendations, put it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.